This is the Roger Orozco Show.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. Ashton's asleep. Special guest, Mrs. Alanis.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. We're going to talk about some topics dealing with the city. We'll start with health board.
Right.
You're on the health board.
I'm on the health board.
And they had a change of leadership or change of, well, you have a new board member.
One new board member.
And he actually became the chair.
Right.
So he steps in.
Right.
He wasn't elected, but because Mr. Seremian didn't run.
Right.
And Mr. Rodriguez came in.
Yes.
Unopposed.
Right.
And he became the chair.
Right.
So Mrs. Gallardo, Mrs. Avalos nominated and seconded, and he voted for himself, I'm sure. And I don't know what you guys.
I voted no, and Herrera voted yes.
Okay.
I believe yes.
Okay. So he comes in. Why would those other two people vote? Want to make him the chair, Gallardo and Avalos?
I believe they're already holding seats. One is the secretary, one's the treasurer, and then he would be chair, and it would be three. It'd be basically the way the city council was: three against two.
On certain things, yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but he just steps in.
He just steps in.
So for them to do that, they know him.
Oh yeah, obviously.
They know him.
Yeah.
And I already know kind of about him with that group.
Right.
So, the two groups.
Right.
And the independents. We're the independents.
Right. Right.
So anyway, I thought that was weird.
And I think they also know because he used to be the secretary.
So they know him.
Right. They do know him.
And they make him the leader.
Right.
Or the chair.
Right.
Which is basically the president, right?
Right.
Yeah. So your name came up in city council meeting as because of the health board. Somebody was outrageously saying, hey, we're going to come for money. We're going to go ask the health board for money. I think it was for Little League.
Right.
And Mrs. Alanis has been telling people not to come for money. But in reality, you didn't say that.
No, I did not.
But not only that, that was a ridiculous statement.
Right.
Because Little League money if it's for something that's safety, then maybe.
Right.
But Little League has gotten a ton of money as well as everybody, a lot of organizations from our healthcare board. It's not healthcare. If it's not healthcare related, they shouldn't be coming for it.
Exactly.
And since you're here, Mrs. Alanis, I have some old notes, and I'm not sure if these were just agenda items, all of them. I know a lot of them passed, but I just wanted the people to understand what had been going on before you were there. Maybe I don't think any of this is recent, but they paid over $60,000 for second chance or for the animal shelter truck.
Right,
health board money.
Yes,
yep.
$65,000.
Yep, I see in here Arts Foundation $36,000.
Right.
Once again, I don't know if it went all the way through. They were on the agenda.
Yeah,
I think most of it went through.
It went through.
Kitchen upgrades, $26,000 in 2015. There's pickleball courts.
Right.
Big brothers, big sisters, which is a great thing. But they were paying. I think they were paying $20,000 a year for 3 years. Health board money. Outrageously, the dishwasher for dog bowls.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff, man. Oh, the painting, the Miro downtown, over $12,000.
Right.
Just a lot of stuff, man.
I did go back after that. I heard that comment. I was just shocked. Somebody called me and told me, and I'm like, why would anybody just falsely make a comment like that? Like, where do I get involved? Where do I get dragged in this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But healthcare money, people need to understand that healthcare money is for health care. It's not for pickleball courts. So what the board had the habit of doing is stretching the definition of healthcare.
Exactly.
Well, it could be this, it could be mental health, no. Then if it's for mental health, then we need to contract with somebody who provides mental health services.
Exactly.
A licensed LMFT, a doctor, OBGYN, eye vision, just anything that would improve healthcare for the community. Now, they did a lot of things for kids, and they're like, oh, it's healthcare. Yeah. Well, if you're buying cleats or whatever for kids, it should go to Measure K.
Oh, you mean the city should be?
Yes,
Yeah.
the city should be funding that. They have the money for that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think the parents need to buy the cleats and the
well,
baseball
I'm just
gloves.
using that example.
Yeah.
But there's Measure K money. So when Measure K was passed,
For kids.
It's Measure K for kids for recreation. That money should have went for all the kids in the community, and now the money that's collected for Measure K kids is thrown into, I believe, the general fund for the city.
Yeah. We don't even know. It's not even clear.
Yeah,
really.
I did go to the city council meeting and I asked, "Where's the Measure K money?"
Yeah.
And I was told, "Well, we have it. It's in the general fund, so we're kind of still working up the budget." And then I just said, "You know what? That's a fight for the community to fight for."
Yeah, they should.
Yes.
And
the citizens should fight for that money.
Yeah. There's a brand new city council member, Mr. Osagara. He mentioned cleaning up the alleys or something, and maybe the health board can have money for that. And I was thinking, oh, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. But ironically, I think one of the things when I watched the last healthcare meeting, one of the things that popped out was there was a mention by a couple of these people of a gray area.
Yes.
The health board is a gray area. And I think the reason why they did that is because with Mr. Rodriguez back in there now, it looks like it's going to be slanted where it was before. They use stuff like, man, they gave money to band a few times, it looks like. Band equipment, the high school band equipment, $24,000, ALMS, $6,000.
The school district should
have been paying all that.
Yes.
And but it's ridiculous. The other thing I noticed, Mrs. Alanis, is when it goes back towards 2014, is it looked like it was getting close to $1 million in that account. And as I looked through it, the numbers start dwindling down, all the way down to 400 and 300,000.
Right.
And I think that's why there was they put caps on it.
Yes,
they created a monster. And a lot of people think that monster was created to buy votes back in the day. I'm one of those people that think that too.
Yeah.
That, hey, man, if you had given all these organizations money and you're taking credit for it, or people are talking about it, and then when you go and run, some of these people that are running are bringing that up.
Right.
And then, it's almost like, like I say, some people think buying votes.
Right.
In a roundabout way.
Right.
My opinion.
And so the reason that I got on the health board is because I saw all the wasted money of taxpayer dollars.
Wow.
Now you can say, oh, it's for healthcare. Okay, let's talk about the floors for the Mexican dance.
Oh yeah.
I was
folklore or something.
Yeah, folklorical dancers. I'm 100% supportive of everything for our kids. I'm supportive. They came to the board and said we need like 10,000. It was really like 8,000 or 9,000, I think. And so I'm like, why would we pay for a floor, a Mexican dance floor? Oh, because, and I was told by the board members, it's because the dust that the floor makes. It could be a health hazard. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's the gray area.
The owner of that building should be paying for those floors.
So what do you think happens when the guy who asked for that money and got it, if I owned that building and he came and told me that about the dust, I said, sweep it out, man. You're full of shit.
Right.
And that's what I think of that guy who did that. I think they're full of shit for asking. But I remember when he did that, he started talking about nonprofit. We became a nonprofit. So they use the nonprofit as a way to grab money. And it's the lack of oversight by the people.
Right. So we are, and I say that, and people probably hate this, we represent the taxpayers.
We're supposed to.
We represent it, and we should not be frivolously giving out taxpayer money. That's just wrong. So if we feel that it's not, we changed the mission statement to say what is considered healthcare. There's a clause in there. What is healthcare? It's a doctor. It's a LMFT. It's a dietitian for diabetes. It's all this stuff. OBGYN. It's all that stuff. If the Little League came and said, hey, we need a defibrillator, which I believe they did. Mm-hmm. They came and they asked for something. That, to me, it could be a gray area, but those kids, if one of those kids fall on the field and they need that, I'm hoping the healthcare would have provided that. We just spent, I don't know how many thousands of dollars for the fire department to have a compression unit, so it automatically does compressions for CPR. That's healthcare.
Yeah. So as a taxpayer, I don't want to see them fixing like the restrooms or
Right.
the field. That's
Right.
their problem.
That's
You go
the
raise
city's
money.
problem.
Yeah, you
Yes.
go raise money.
But I did see that in the minutes. I went back after.
Yeah, they've done that. That's why I brought
Yes,
that up.
yeah, they fixed bathrooms in the
Yeah.
Little League Park or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is atrocious. These taxpayer dollars, it's your taxpayer dollars, yours and mine,
Yep.
are being spent in gray areas. There is no gray area.
Yeah, there is no gray. They're
It's either
making
black or white.
They're making it gray. And they drained that account. They had to
Right.
put caps on it, and they made it gray on purpose. That way they can do this stuff and buy favor.
Right.
In my opinion, they're buying favor when they do that because it doesn't make sense. And Mrs. Avalos and Mrs. Gallardo, the people that vote for them don't know. Most of them probably do. I know that most of them don't know the record, the atrocious spending. It's like crazy. I'm going to say crazy left spending.
Right. So when I go around and we talk about healthcare, I started going around to organizations talking about healthcare. Nobody knew that their tax dollars, a portion of a portion of your property taxes, is coming out to fund the healthcare, the healthcare board. So if the community, the citizens don't say anything, money's just going to be spent wherever. The health board money was considered a welfare or community chest.
That's what they used to call it.
Yeah, they go, hey, go to the healthcare board. They have a lot of money. They'll just give you what you want. So when we give it out to these individuals, then those individuals are super loyal to the people that voted in favor of that.
It's kind of like a big circle.
Right. So I'm just like, I'm trying to guard taxpayer money, but if you don't like me, I'm sorry. But you guys put me on there because I ran opposed and I was placed on the board. But if you don't want me to fight for your money, then I won't. You won't elect me next time. But
that's another thing a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah,
that's why I like to do the video and get it out there that because you're doing a great job. Now, how about the recall now? The switching topics going into the Selma recall of the mayor.
Okay.
Let's hold on a real quick second. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to talk about the recall. Selma City Council. There's actually people trying to get together. The recall for the mayor, a recall of the mayor.
Right.
And I just wrote it down because I just saw this morning. There's actually a meeting, and they put it online. It's on news from Selma, California. Anything, anytime.
Oh, okay. It's on there.
Yeah. Was
Okay.
that Mr. Hitch's page?
Yes.
So that's a good page because
That's a good page.
all the pages of Selma News, I've been censored on myself, and I think Mr. Hitch was. That's why he created this. It seems to be slanted one way.
Yes.
So anyway, just to give it a shout out, there is a recall meeting scheduled at the Kingsburg Library on the 25th of February from 6 to 7:30. It's a meeting about organizing and strategizing and mobilizing for the recall against our mayor, Mr. Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. You have any thoughts on that?
Well,
I'll start it then. Since you hesitated, hell yeah. You know what? I followed Mr. Robertson for a very, very long time as the mayor, as a council person, and I think he's very wrong for our city. I'll put it that way. I 100% would support the recall and help in any way. That's just me, in my opinion.
yeah. When I was campaigning for the school board, I did a lot of door knocking. And he has a lot of, I'm just going to put it out there. He has a lot of support out there because he's done a lot of stuff that nobody sees.
Uh-huh.
And so he has a huge loyal following. But the thing that bothers me is if you don't want him up there, you don't want him to be mayor, and I see both sides. I totally 100% see both sides. But I hate when people hide behind the shadows.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
If I don't like something, and that's when I'm saying I need a filter. I totally need a filter, really, I do. Because if I don't like something, I'll question it. Well, why? Well, how do we get there? Well, why? How do we? What are we going to do about it? And I'm out, and I'm thrown out there, and that's what happened with the school board. I'm like, why? Who? What? Where? Why? Because I'm a citizen. I care about our community. But if you're going to do the recall, if you're going to go ahead and push it forward, then anybody that is for it should come out of the dark and say, yeah, I'm for it. But what angers me is that they want you to do it.
Me personally?
Well,
they've asked.
hey,
People
Roger,
have asked me. Yeah, for
can
sure.
Can you put this on your podcast? Can you do this? Can you? And then you're like, okay, yeah, come on, let's do it. Oh no. Just can you do it? No, if you feel so passionately about it, then you should go in there and advocate for it. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to do the recall.
Yeah, it's very doable.
It is.
What if they can actually get it off the ground
Right.
with the proponents, then the signatures, and then if everybody breaks in a little,
Right.
if you have like 20, 25
Right.
people and everybody has a certain amount, it's really doable. It's very doable. It'll be hard to start it because I think some people will be afraid.
And that's what it is.
Because there's a lot of bullies.
Oh my gosh.
They bully the. Well, you get bullied. They try to bully me, man. Well, shoot, the mayor and his wife drive by my house. Yeah, I haven't seen them lately, but they used to drive by super duper slow, and his wife would give me these stares. I just laugh at it. I think, man, you guys are weird.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever driven by my house. They know where I live, but I just hope I never see that because it's just very.
I've dealt with him for a very, very long time, and that's why I wouldn't support. So if you know me, I'm not lying, and it's 100% a straight shooter a certain way. And I've dealt with Mr. Robertson. He said a lot of things about me in the past that weren't true, and I remember him talking about natural assumptions on other people, and which when we actually called him out one time for it, and then he came back with this natural assumption. And which was, basically bullshit. But I've dealt with him for a long, long time, and he's just not. He's not a good politician for our town. He's a divider. Look at what he's doing. What he's doing right. What's happening right now with the city council. He's actually the puppet master for those guys. Mr. Avalos is under his thumb. Mr. Alceguera will be under his thumb. And Mr. Alceguera, just in the little bit that I've seen him, man. His whole objective seems to be about the animal shelter, which I love dogs, but I'm tired of that shit. That's just, hey, you talk about it once and you move on. Every meeting, come on, man.
Those city council meetings should be 2 hours, 3 hours at the most. Yeah. Your agenda goes out, you read the agenda, you ask the question, so by the time you get there, it's a done thing.
Yeah, and then So one of the things that they do, they pull the check registry. If you have questions before the meeting, then you need to ask those questions.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a point about something, then I can see that. But there's a lot. 6 hours is really stupid. 4 hours is pretty bad. Maybe once in a while. But I have a feeling just by watching this last meeting, it was really, there were some really dumb things going on. There was a lot of stuff said. It was almost like everybody was coming, hey, we want this, we want that. It was just really dumb. That's where your name came up about, hey, Miss Alanis and the money. I mean, you know what? If you're going to run and be part of the Little League, then go raise your money. Don't be asking for healthcare taxpayer money. I remember more people need to know that.
I remember when we were younger, my kids were in sports. We fundraised. Yeah. We sold candy. We sold baked goods.
You have a snack bar. Yeah. I mean, where is all this money?
Right.
I think the problem is they started this.
Yeah.
They started this shit with going to like band and everything. As a matter of fact, there was a person I knew pretty good. And the band went and got money. And I was like, hey, why would you go for health board money? And this person told me, well, because everybody else is. And why wouldn't we? And I was like, man, well, I don't agree with that. So this is what they caused. They drained that account. They should be using it for mental health services for our children and the adults. That should be the number one priority.
Okay, so they brought up at one of our board meetings the track field. The track.
Oh yeah, that's on here too. They spent $100,000.
Okay, so then somebody said, what are we, something about the track, and then the new chairperson said, well, you could really use that money for track because it's healthcare. And I said, how is it healthcare?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it's for the health of the kids when they run the track. You guys are
That's
totally
stretching.
Yeah, stretching it. If the citizens find out that all this is going on, they're gonna flip their lids.
Yeah, and the school district easily should be able to pay for everything.
Yes.
The amount, all the people
Yes.
have to do is watch what they've done with the amount of money the last few years with contracts. The amount of money is ridiculous, horrendous that they pull from the kids. They could pay for everything. Everything, cap and gowns.
Right.
I heard the football team's having to pay a portion for the rings. That's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring up Mr. Fedor. I'm going to hammer him pretty soon on a different podcast. But I asked him if, in an email, if the superintendent got his bonus this year, and he doesn't want to respond to me. So anyway, I'm going to call him Mr. Fake Fedor. Doesn't respond to the people he works for. He doesn't want to answer that question. Because if the superintendent is getting a bonus this year, the kid shouldn't be paying for shit, cap and gowns or the rings, or even a portion of it.
I think you'd be able to get that. It's public record.
Yeah, I mean, I have the contract. I haven't opened it up yet. I got it through Public Records Act. I haven't opened it up, but so I think while you were there, it might have a percentage, and then he gets a bonus.
Right.
So my question is, did he get it? I don't know. I don't know the percentages. I don't know.
I think
if
it's
it
if
went
they
up.
go up
5% or something?
Yeah, 5%.
So I don't know if it went up 5%.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But the point is, if Mr. Fedor, my representative, if I ask him, he should just say yes or no. And yes, he didn't want to say yes. He's afraid to tell the truth.
Yeah.
He sat where you're sitting for 4 years and said a lot of shit. Yeah. Everybody talks about him, man. Like, hey, what happened to him?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a fake guy.
Yeah.
A board member. Fake board member.
I think that as a superintendent, it's your job to get those test scores up. To get those kids educated. That's why you're hired. But you get a bonus because the test scores go up.
Did you vote for that?
No.
See, Rosemary's the only one that didn't vote for it. The other guys voted for it. They don't like to talk about it. They actually rallied against you.
Yes.
The only person that would vote no on some of the stupid contracts.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Sahota runs, and there's the teachers committee, teachers association committee. They gave contributions to Mr. Sahota. Mm-hmm. So in my opinion, he okays all this money going around this big old circle. Yeah. Everybody, administrators, teachers unions, all the other unions, and then there's money kicked in by the unions to his campaign. Man, that's horrendous. Right. Mr. Sahota, you're horrendous.
Right. So people ask, what side are you on? I said, I'm on nobody's side. I'm on the kids' side.
That's it.
I want to make sure that the kids are getting what they're supposed to. A lot of people don't know that, like 73 teachers.
Or 73. Yeah, 73 got like 18 grand. They were topped out.
Yeah.
Stephen Collins.
Right.
And they moved it.
Got almost 20. Got 18 to $19,000 raises a year.
That was and that was with the salary schedule. Stephen Collins with that movement plus the bonus plus that's where you got that money, and everybody else got money too. They didn't get that much, but they got 7%, 6%.
Right, it went down.
As the steps went,
seniority level.
Yes. So what else happened? So then they gave all this money away, and then you come back, and then there was we don't have any money. You were there. Hey, you don't have money for 1%. It goes on for a few weeks only. And then there's a 3-year deal.
Right.
A 3-year deal worth 9% when they didn't have any money.
Right.
And then didn't they not tell you? You had mentioned that you asked, and they didn't tell you.
I keep asking, where's this money coming from?
Where did it come from? So they didn't tell you, right, at the time? So they didn't tell you at the time, but you had 4 other members vote for it. Yeah. Mr. Fedor, Mr. Sahota, Medina, Kessler. So I don't want to bash those guys, but I will. They suck. They are not the gatekeepers of the taxpayer money. Yeah. They wouldn't give all that money out in their own business, but yet they would do it here.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. When I was campaigning, we went to the debate.
Oh, yeah, there was a debate.
And I brought that up. And people were shocked.
Oh, yeah, I got a message about that, yeah.
People were just aghast. There was one one citizen that was sitting in the audience, and he could barely walk. He must have been about 80.
He was
But
mad.
he was furious. I had the actual document there from the meeting, and I showed it to him, and he said so many F-bombs, and he was an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, who the blank does that? Nobody in their right mind who owns a business, who knows anything about financial responsibility would ever do that. And I said, well,
The taxpayers
the taxpayers
have been taken advantage of.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. It doesn't matter where you come from, how educated you are, or anything. Parents run that school board. So if you don't know that, you have so much power. Go to the meetings, ask the teachers, reach out to the superintendent, reach out. You have a voice. Don't be scared. Yeah. Don't be scared. You guys tell us what you want.
You're supposed to.
You guys tell us. We work for you guys. We work for you, the parents and the kids.
Rosemary did. The other guys aren't. Mr. Fedor don't even ask questions. And then, with the wrestling, just to bring this up, because we're trying to make the video shorter.
Yes.
The wrestling, I asked Mr. Fedor to put it on the agenda. He did not. Gilbert asked Mr. Medina, Gilbert Lopez. He did not. Caesar was at the meeting asking everybody. So to everybody, they did not. We came to you. You did it, and I know it was a big fight for you.
It was a fight.
It was a fight. So when they do that wrestling facility, the wrestling room, there was a lot of people helping and involved, but it was Mrs. Alanis who fought to get it on there, where the other board members didn't.
Yeah.
So I hope the wrestling community hears this and realizes, because, well, thank you for doing that. You're the only one that was listening to the people at that time. Shoot, I mean, that was pretty horrendous.
It was horrendous.
What they did. So when that thing gets built, those guys will be like, hey, we voted for it. The fight was to get it on the agenda. Once it got there, the pressure from the public, Mr. Sepulveda brought a bunch of people, and I mean, it went through, but it was you. People don't get to see the fight to get it on. So the real fight is the agenda.
Right.
And I'm going to do a video on the agenda items in the near future, how people have the right to do that. But your right is only as good as, hey, are you willing to go get a lawyer?
Right.
Which, might have to come to that. But you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to rely on your board member.
Right.
You were the board president. You weren't in our area, but you helped us because Mr. Medina and Mr. Fedor, and so they were all weak. They were getting pushed back, and so they pissed themselves. Yeah. Excuse my language, but they pissed themselves. But thank you for doing that for those kids.
Thank you. Just because you're in a certain district doesn't mean that you just take care of that district.
Exactly.
You're just voted in for that district, but you represent the whole community as a whole.
Yep.
So my district was by Eric White. Yep. Oh, yeah. But I still went to Terry School.
Oh, yeah. You represented all.
I represent those board members represent everybody, not just their school district, because you're working for the kids. You're working for the kids.
You're supposed to be working for the kids. And so it's pretty shameful that it had to come to that. But yeah, you did a great job. I think you're doing a great job on the health, and you're not afraid to come here and talk about it, which means, you have integrity, but you believe in yourself and what you're doing. People don't have to like it. Mr. Fedor, just last week, I asked him to come and sit here and explain what he's done, and he's afraid. He's afraid to sit here. He declined. Yeah, he sat here and he criticized people for many years, and we actually ran this campaign to get him on, and now he hides from us.
Yeah.
And it's because of the bad decisions, is my opinion on it, is what I believe. Mr. Fedor is totally fake and weak, and I'm going to call him out, man, pretty quick.
Yeah. So being on any board or committee, it can be stressful if you're not doing what they elected you to do. So if they elect you to do this, then you're going to do it and you sleep good at night. But if you're going against what they elected you for, your campaign promises, then you're not going to be able to sleep, and you're going to be tossing and turning all night long. So
Mr. Fedor then doesn't sleep with that analogy. Oh, man. Mr. Fedor coming for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
And that's why I don't mind being on here, because it's facts.
You're telling the truth.
Yeah, you don't say anything that's not true.
Yeah.
But
if I get something wrong, let me know, and I'll correct it.
Yes.
But I just want to tell the truth. The reason why we have to do these little podcasts is because of all this information that nobody knows.
Right.
And hopefully it slowly catches everybody's ear here and there, and it grows and people talk about it. People need to know that you are the main reason why they're going to get that wrestling facility. Mr. Bearano kickstarted and made an agenda item. We were all helping, Mr. Sepulveda, everything. But it never would have happened if you didn't fight that fight behind the scenes to put it on the agenda. They didn't want to do it. Our guys were weak and didn't do it. They didn't do it. They asked, I guess. So they say they asked, but nothing happened.
Well, the wrestlers, just like all our sports teams, have done amazing. But the wrestlers have taken us international.
They should have built
international.
Yeah,
it should have been a no-brainer.
It should have been a massive facility.
Right.
When people, and hopefully we'll be able to relay this again, see that get to hear about the millions and millions of dollars last year, now, and in the future that was given away to have deeper pockets. I mean, the salary schedule changes everything was massive. This was the moment, and a lot of it had to do because of COVID, Measure L, and there was a chance for this school district who's been suffering with the money, in my opinion, for a very long time. There was an opportunity to do a ton of things for our children, and instead it went to the pockets of the adults. The last two contracts is what I'm talking about.
Right. A lot of people, since we're talking about the school board now.
Yeah. I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll try to wrap it up in a couple minutes.
A lot of people didn't understand where I was coming from. And so when I was campaigning, somebody reached out to somebody that was running for city council, and they said, hey, how come you're not supporting Alanis? And then they said, oh, all she cares about is the money. All I care about is the money. You need money to ensure that your kids are learning, that they're eating, when they go to school, they need that money to function. You got to buy supplies. You got to buy all this stuff. Salaries got to be paid. Benefits got to be paid. You're the gatekeeper of everything. Yeah. You're on the board, but you're the gatekeeper. And that really offended me because you know what? The thing that we worried about the most was the academics. Yeah.
And we were one of the lowest. We did our own survey online. We got the numbers from the CASP, and we were doing them, for Clovis Central. There was like 21 school districts and non-school district schools, elementary, high school, Kingsburg High, elementary. Anyway, we were one of the worst in state testing, the CASP. Right. But we're one of the top paid school districts. Right. So why would we turn around and offer 8% and then move the salary schedule of 1 to 9%, give a 4% bonus, turn around and give another 9 in 3 years? Why would you do that when we're one of the highest paid already with some of the worst scores? Why would they do that? Right. And I just see it as total weakness.
I asked a board member one time, why did you vote for that? Yeah. They go, oh, because maybe they'll do their jobs. Oh my gosh.
So that was a cop out. It was really, really what I saw what was going on from knowing all these guys, and either they were totally faking their whole lives, or they're cowards and weak. It's one or the other. I believe they're cowards and weak.
I just don't.
Thank you for having courage.
I just think they just really don't understand, or they don't care.
No, I think they're cowards. They have to be cowards because they do understand, because we knew them. We used to talk to them, and so they knew it. They just couldn't do it. Yeah. One of these fools, one of these fake guys, told me, "Hey, I voted for this because of the Jedi mind tricks. They played Jedi mind tricks on me." I was like, "Man, you're a fool talking to a dad that's all passionate about that shit. Don't tell me that, man. Right. You're a fool." Right. So I have a problem with all those dudes now. I don't hate them, but I have a problem. I think they all suck, man.
When you told me that, I just couldn't help laughing because
it's ridiculous.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Jedi mind tricks. What a fool, man. Mr. Fake had Jedi mind tricks on him.
So I was just, you just got to do the right thing. That's all. You just, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be with a PhD. You just got to use common sense. And common sense, those kids come first. Yeah. That's it. And you know what? Yeah. And with Trump in office, we don't know where anything's going. So what we should have done is, when he talked about me not being, oh, I care about the money. No, I cared about people's jobs. I cared about making sure that we have money for the kids. I cared about health benefits. I cared about that. That's why when you were on board, we created a policy that said that we would not go below 10%.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Not below.
Well, the idea at the time was that 10% reserve was, at the time, you take 10% of the money, you put it to the side, and it doesn't. You're not fluctuating using it, but that's what it looks like it's happening.
Doing. And I kept saying, why are you guys taking money out of the reserves? Why are you guys taking? But I'm telling you guys, I mean,
the intent didn't happen.
No. So what I'm telling you, because they used the gray area.
The gray areas. But they were allowed to by the board.
Yes.
That's what people don't
Measure
know.
L. We promised the people Measure L. It was for certain things at the school, but not for salaries. Yeah. Not for salaries.
And they pulled the salary out.
They pulled the administrative salary on that. And I'm like, and then the superintendent goes, well, I can do it. The attorney said I can do it.
Why are you looking at it?
And then another board member said, oh, if the attorney said it's okay.
Yeah.
He said, just because it's okay doesn't mean we're going to do it. We promised the people no salaries.
Yeah, and you voted no. And the guy who said that was Mr. Fedor. And we were like, dude, what are you doing? And he voted yes because it was okay. See, the fakeness of it, the cowardness of not standing up for the people. You told us you were going to put the kids first and work for the people. But you didn't do it. You haven't done it. So, yeah, I'll name drop it all the time now. Man, it's already going like half hour.
Okay.
Hey, so thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and remember, there's a recall starting. They're going to try to start it. Ms. Alanis on the health board is going to oversee the money. I'm sure they're going to come for it.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're coming for it, and
it's okay to come for it.
Yeah,
if it's health care.
Health care.
I will do anything I can for health care.
What I'm talking about was the animal shelter, or fixing the alleys with it, or Little League equipment.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no equipment. It has to be health related.
Health care related.
Well, thank you, Ms. Alanis.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Oh, and a shout out to Mr. Seremian, who was on it. I wish Mr. Seremian would have stayed on the health board.
Yes.
It was moving in a great direction. And anyway, yeah.
I just wish him the best. I love him.
I liked him on there.
I have a lot of respect for that man. He is solid. He's a solid community person, family member, everything.
Yeah, I didn't know him, but I liked when I was listening to him. I did like that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Ms. Alanis.
Thank you.